Welcome to Conversations with K and J. We're your hosts, Kayla and Janae.
And here, we talk about love, life,
and lessons learned. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Daily Doses of Conversations with Kayla
and Janae.
In today's energy, we are looking into it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. No one said life would be easy. This is a phrase we hear often, and as we grow older, we find it to be true. Life is tough and difficulties are inevitable. But they say diamonds are created under pressure. When life squeezes us, makes us uncomfortable, and causes us pain, we're forced to adapt, innovate, or change. We're forced to learn about what truly matters to us, the world, and who we want to be. It's not easy, but it is worth it. What you think?
Pretty much what it says. Like, the change is going to be worth it in the end. It's kind of like when you hit the bottom, it's only up from there.
Yeah.
It can't get any worse than it is. It only gets better.
Yeah. And once you experience a failure, you realize it's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. So you don't carry that same fear of feeling like if I go out and fail and not succeed, my life is over and that's it.
Right. Failure is just a lesson to be learned. You learn the lesson and you just know to not do it again. And yeah, it'll be worth it. You learn something. There's always a positive to a negative. You can always look at things on a brighter side.
Yeah. So the tarot card that is out is the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Swords. So what came to my mind as Janae was speaking was like, have you guys ever seen a crab come out of its shell when it's time to like...
No.
You never seen the videos of the crabs coming out of their shell?
No.
And I guess that's when you catch them as soft shell crabs?
No, I had soft shell crabs. I've never seen how they...
oh my gosh, I'm about to find a video.
Into the soft shell crab.
I see it all the time on Facebook.
Kayla has this obsession with like watching, what do you want to call it?
Murder?
Murder of sea animals, obviously.
No, they recommend it on Facebook. They always show me like the foreign videos of like in the Asian countries of them cooking like all kinds of seafood alive. And it's stuff. Like devastates me for a while.
She
but
like gets obsessed. She like goes down the rabbit hole.
They wasn't cooking this
videos.
Crab. This crab was just like shedding its old shell. And it looks very painful. It looks like if he moved a little bit too fast, he would rip his own little arm off. But I think the point of me seeing that visually in my head right now was to say that it's not going to be comfortable. Like, it looked very uncomfortable for him to come out of his own shell. But I feel like that's the phase of life that we are in collectively, where we're coming out of that shell. You may even be out of the shell, and then you have a softness to you, which you have to be extra protective because you're super sensitive and vulnerable at this moment because you're waiting for the new shell to form, to harden.
So you get tougher skin.
Yeah, you get tougher skin. And so with the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Swords, this could be thinking about everything that could go wrong or everything that could happen in the state of you not really knowing what to expect next. I don't really know how to explain that because the examples that I'm just getting is just crazy. Now I'm thinking about when I was pregnant with Kaylee. Like, I knew what was coming in pregnancy to a certain extent, but as I was pregnant and had her in my belly, my mind started playing tricks on me of like, Kayla, if you just slip and fall on some ice out here, like, you know, it could be gone just like that. But those are things like you don't think about until you. I know.
A negative Nancy.
But it was realistic because you don't really think about the little things that could add up to something bigger happening. And I was pregnant during the winter season, and I remember working at the hotel, and it was snow outside, and I was thinking like I need to be really careful with the shoes that I wear or you know, with the steps, because any slip and fall is not just me worrying about myself. And so I feel like that's coming up to show that you have things or people that you're connected to that you have to be mindful of in this moment too. And I think it's so much weight being put on holding that down without realizing that you're going through changes and evolutions within yourself. So this is really just doing what you can with the energy that you do have, and knowing that every day may not be a piece of cake, it may not be a walk in the park, but it is worth it for you to keep going and keep having faith for something better. That's what I'm saying. Like those negative thoughts were coming at a faster rate as I was pregnant. I was thinking of everything that could go wrong, but again, I couldn't give in to them and like let that bring me down or in depression or feel like I'm going to mess up and make a mistake. I had to be hopeful that I'm just going to do the best that I can to, you know, protect myself and to protect Kaylee. And I don't know, such a surface level example, but it's the only way that I can really explain this energy.
So you pretty much had to push through all those thoughts and fears and get to that due date.
Yeah.
The birth and
yeah.
It would kind of take some of that pressure off.
Yeah, I was
words.
like the crab. I was soft and vulnerable.
But then you had her and then it like different worries came up. So like
so
the worries never
gonna
end.
Be something.
Right, it never ends, but
there's still growth. There's still growth within it. So with that being said, both examples hold temporary energy, things that come and go, things that will change before you know it, right? So the Wheel of Fortune has the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And I just did Patreon reading this morning where we spoke about changes happening quickly, things kind of like going faster than you expected. And I know that we've all been in this waiting period, but I feel like this is speaking on something spiritual. I told Patreon how my birthday was in October, and I felt like October took forever to end. You know, I felt like I was waiting for November to come, and here we are, November 15th. Like, we're halfway through November, and it happened so quickly. So that's why I feel like energetically and spiritually, there's a lot of things happening and transforming at this moment, and it's just like the episode from yesterday where we're just waiting for it to materialize, for it to come into our reality on a physical level. But that may be the place where it gets a bit scary or uncomfortable, but it's going to be worth it. Without any sort of endings, there cannot be new beginnings. And so this ending or whatever the cycle that's closing out with the Wheel of Fortune, you have to know and believe that it's fated, that it's destined for you to go through it, experience it, understand it, because it's playing a major part in who you are becoming. No, nothing to add.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
That explains the whole like shedding of the skin and growing new and tougher skin for the next phase of like things to come.
Okay. So with the Eight of Swords, how do you feel like this could speak on your mindset? Like if you were to go through a time or a period in life where you felt afraid, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Shit, I want to use now. Like this time right now, I feel like we on a roller coaster. Like it's up, it's down. Like one day I'm ready to conquer the world, and the next day it's like, damn, this shit is never gonna change. Or you know, nothing is happening and moving and shaking, and that shit is depressing. I'm not gonna lie. So right now it's definitely a roller coaster with the mind, because then today I woke up like it's another day and it's gonna get better.
You just gotta start over every day
And start over every day. Yeah.
Try to find your balance and your flow again.
Yeah, I'm going with emotions right now. I'm going with whatever emotion comes up. each day.
Well, that's perfect, because I think that's very thorough in understanding of how simplistic it is.
Yeah.
And we make it a little more difficulty instead of just taking things one day at a time and just allowing it and letting it be what it is.
Because I realize that's all I can do. Like, there's nothing I can do. I feel like we exhaust every option and overthink everything until the point of getting a freaking headache. And then you just get to the point of just giving up.
Right.
Well, not giving up in that sense, but just being like, all right,
Surrendering.
I surrender. I don't want to think about it no more.
Yeah.
Let me go watch a freaking movie or something so I don't have to, like, do this mind tricks to myself.
It makes me think of, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but when we were pulling cards for ourselves, and I, like, got frustrated, and I was like, I feel like my cards is telling me to go dance. And it's like, what, God just want me to go dance during this waiting period to distract myself from sitting here. But like, yeah, like whatever you are feeling called to do, that's the best way you can like recenter yourself to get out of this mental jail cell, because that's what the Eight of Swords is representing. And that was clarified by the Ace of Wands. So though your thing may not be dancing, it's like finding something that you can throw yourself into to find a new passion or desire to want to do.
Right.
And it may seem as a distraction, but I think that distraction will end up growing into something that is destined for you within it. I was going to say something about this Eight of Swords energy, but I totally went blank. I don't know. It was good too. It's a good point. All right, maybe I'll come back to it. So basically the Wheel of Fortune with the Queen of Pentacles is about you like taking care of yourself, not neglecting yourself in this moment. Okay, that's my point. So with the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Wands, what I was going to say is distracting yourself in a high vibrational sense, in a good manner, because this sitting in this stalemate or this waiting period looks like it's getting to you on a mental level, and you got to understand that the devil plays in mental energy. Devil can't mess with your heart, but it can mess with your mind, right? So you want to get yourself out of just sitting stagnant and staying in your head, because our thoughts can get the best of us. And it's kind of like the TikTok I sent you with a girl talking yesterday when she was saying the devil wants you to be depressed and staying in your head and thinking about just the negative things.
Right.
And I guess that goes with the example of the pregnancy. Like, it wasn't until I was pregnant that I started thinking about every little thing that could go wrong, because when you're just watching it from the outside, it's just like, oh, you know, it's so cute. But it was such a dangerous moment in my life. And so I think that you can nitpick any part of life apart and realize all of the cons.
Right.
But this is balancing it out with whatever pros that you can find in order to keep yourself motivated and going and moving forward. So you don't get stuck or confined into one space that ends up making you feel like you're drowning.
Right. You can always flip those negatives into positives.
Yeah.
And then just distract yourself to get a more clear mind, especially one way I like to just go walk. But
it's just finding the ways that help you relieve.
Right. When I'm confined into four walls, that shit drives me crazy. So I go for a walk to break all that up.
So that's temperance. That is you finding the things that help you realign, that helps you to find your balance so that you get out of this clouded state of mind that you're continuously in, that's making life seem a lot harder than it really is. You know, so that's what I meant. I had to keep going. I had to keep going to work, and all I could do was just make sure that I was taking care of what I needed to, and I had to just have faith in the rest. Because if I would have stayed in that thought process, it would have took me down a really depressing place, you know? So it is about releasing what you cannot control in this moment and allowing things to be what they are, because this is really just giving an underlining message of everything aligning and falling together as it should be, even if we can't see it. And again, just understanding very thoroughly that patience is not punishment, it's purposeful. So we're going to end it with the back message that says, put down the heavy load. Our difficulties weigh heavily on the heart. Sometimes difficulties consume us and we feel it. It's all we think about, or we feel it physically in the body. Sometimes we are unaware that they consume us, and it spills out into our lives, in the way we speak, the way we act, the way we are. Gently and with self-compassion, consider this. If we are the ones choosing to carry the load, we are the ones who can choose to put it down. Dang, that was deep.
That was a good one.
It was. So to top that off, we have the Ten of Wands and the Emperor, and that's perfect. It goes perfect with that. It's releasing yourself from the burden so that you can free up energy to move forward in a way that you don't carry the fears, you just become fearless. And you go into this Emperor energy of standing in your power and knowing that you are the creator and destroyer all in one.
Yeah. I think it's moving out of a place of complaining about a lot of things and start putting action to those things if you want to see change in it.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to end it there. We love you guys. Thank you so much for vibing out with us, and we will talk to you in our next one.